Hello everyone. Today I would like to introduce Joyetech's brand new e-cigarette, the evics Supreme, or evics for short. This upgraded version of Joyetech's first vapor intelligent cigarette improves on the original design in every single way. The major improvements include some of the following: a vastly sturdier stainless steel body, all pieces of which are now stainless steel, which adds drastically to the durability of the evics Supreme compared to that of the original evic. There is now a 360-degree, fully rotating menu selection ring, making menu navigation a breeze. Another major improvement is the power output. The evics Supreme has an increased maximum output wattage and voltage, up to 30 watts and 6 volts, and can support atomizer resistances from 0.5 ohms up to 5 ohms. It also includes a larger, brighter OLED screen, which can actually support small, user-made pictures uploaded to the evics Supreme using the MyVapor software, and can also display much more vaping data. One issue with the original evic was that the 510 atomizer connector could break if it were dropped or if too much force were applied to it. The evics Supreme helps with this issue by making the 510 connector an actual removable piece, which can be replaced if such a failure occurs. Here we see the 510 removable adapter. Now I would like to take you on a tour of the home screen of the evics Supreme, many functions of which you will recognize if you are familiar with the original evic. First, we will turn it on, which we do in the same way as with the first evic. Simply press the button 5 times in quick succession. Here we see the button. Once we get to this screen, you will see a screen displaying some options. For now, let's choose the power on option by pressing the button. First, the system will boot up to either the default logo or a logo of your own making. Next, it will display the time, your atomizer, the recommended power, and now your home screen. We can see by looking at the home screen that there are several numbers displayed. Each of these numbers can be changed to display different information based on what is most important to you. In the top right-hand corner, we see the amount of battery power remaining. Below that, we see the time and date. To the left, we see what the wattage of the evic is currently set to, as well as the resistance of the atomizer. There is no atomizer, however, so we see the resistance is 0. Below that, we see the total number of puffs taken and the total number of puffs that are remaining on the current battery charge and atomizer resistance. With no atomizer connected, this number is currently 0. And to the right of this, we have an alarm set. You can use this, although it is entirely optional, to set an alarm to go off after a certain number of puffs are taken, to set a limit on yourself on how much you are vaping. Below this, in large numbers, we see the current voltage the evic is set at. And finally, we see a small image I created using Microsoft Paint, saved as a grayscale bitmap or BMP image. This is simply an example of what you can do with image displays. As I've said before, all of this information can be changed depending on what you want to see. Now, let's take a look at the main menu by pressing the button 5 times quickly. Here, we see several options: sleep, vapor set, configure, display, device, stealth, reset, password, power off, and exit. Pressing exit will leave the main menu and turn off the screen. Pressing the button once more will bring you back to the home screen. Now, let's go back to the main menu and go through each option one by one. Pressing sleep will put the evics Supreme into sleep or standby mode, conserving battery life. To bring the Supreme out of sleep mode, simply press the button 5 times quickly. Moving down to vapor set brings up a submenu. Let's skip switch for now and move down to mode. Within mode, here we see manual or auto. Selecting manual means that for as long as you are holding the button, the Supreme will deliver power to the atomizer and you can vape. If you select auto, however, simply pressing the button for 1 second and releasing will cause the Supreme to deliver power for the length of the chosen time. Moving down to puff set will allow you to either check the total puffs ever made on your Supreme or reset the recorded puffs for that day. Moving back to the main menu, let's select the Configure option. Clicking on the battery option gives some default battery capacities or custom battery capacity. Choosing the right one for your battery is important to give the evics Supreme a more accurate reading of your remaining battery power and remaining puffs. Choosing Screensaver will allow you to set the amount of time that will pass while the Supreme is at the main menu before the screensaver comes on. Note that you can upload your own screensaver using the MyVapor software. Choosing Screen will allow you to change the amount of time the display will remain on before it turns off. Choosing System will allow you to change how long the device will remain in its powered on state without being used before the battery powers the system off. Selecting the Temperature option will allow you to change the temperature readings between Fahrenheit and Celsius. You can then check the current temperature of the atomizer and set an alarm to go off if the temperature goes above something you feel uncomfortable with. Selecting Calendar allows you to change your time between 12 and 24-hour time, and then allows you to check the current time or change the time, the date, or the year. Now, back at the main menu, we will choose Display. Choosing Home Screen, we see 5 options. Choosing Home Screen L1 is the upper left data area on the home screen, while Home Screen R1 is the upper right. Home Screen L2 is the bottom left, and Home Screen R2 is the bottom right. Keep in mind that you can change these at any time to display whatever information you'd like. Now, let's change the bottom home screen picture from the one I created to show both the current voltage and wattage output. Now we will go back to the home screen. Notice the rotating ring in the main menu changes both the voltage and the corresponding wattage equivalent. Currently, we are vaping using variable voltage as our power. Note that you can only hold the button to vape from the home screen. If you are in a menu, you will not be able to vape. Now, let's go back to the Vapor Set option and choose Switch. This option allows us to switch between vaping in variable voltage or variable wattage. If we choose variable wattage and go back to the home screen, we will find that the wattage and voltage have changed places. We are now vaping on variable wattage. You can also choose to vape on RVV or RVW modes within the Vapor Set option and the Switch option. The same as with the original evic, which allows the voltage or wattage to change over time as you vape in order to get the most flavor from your e-juices. Let's go back and choose variable voltage. And let's go back to the main menu. We also see 2 more that we have not talked about. You can choose to vape in stealth mode, which will keep the OLED screen off while vaping in order to conserve battery power. You can also choose to set a password to your device in order to keep children or others from using it. It should be noted that everything you can do in the menus of the evics Supreme can also be adjusted quickly if you plug your Supreme into a computer and you open MyVapor software, which I will now show you. The same as with the evic 1, if you plug the evic 2 into a computer, you can begin to use the MyVapor software. As I've said before, any options you can change in the evics Supreme's menu, you can also change in the MyVapor software, such as the switch, variable voltage, variable wattage, RVV, and RVW. We can also look at the modes in stealth, manual mode or automatic mode, stealth mode off or on, the home screen and where the positions of your data are. Let's check out the logo here. Let's change this from variable voltage and wattage to the user logo. Here we see the evics Supreme. This is where I uploaded the image. We can also set an alarm by timer, by time, or by puffs. We can also change our boot logo and our screensaver by importing our own images. And here, you can also set a password by turning the password option on and changing your digits. One more thing I'd like to show you is that with the same configuration options you could use in the evics Supreme menu, you can also change in the My Vapor software, such as changing your battery's milliamp capacity, the amount of time your screen will remain on, the amount of time it will take for your evic to shut down, and the maximum temperature that it will go up to, and when it will give you an alarm, and how high the current temperature is. You can also look at your current date. We can also look at the vaping record, and you can look at the power you've used, the voltage you've used, the amount of time you've vaped, and your atomizer resistances over a period of time, by energy, or by puff. So in this way, you can keep track of your vaping habits. Once again, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it.